Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Suzuka and the second round of the ESR GT4 World Tour. Yeah! I don't know what Calisonic is, but it's apparently it's cool. With me, well, I'm Michael Magus. I would hope you know my voice by now, but maybe you don't. With me is Ayrton Tobin.
Hello, yes. Let's get this started. Hey, that's me also.
There it is. Yeah, there he is in that fat-ass Maserati. But at least unlike the Bentley, the Maserati's got all those curves.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sexy
big one.
car.
Especially if you see that thing like sitting next to the Alpine. Oh boy.
Well, the Alpine is tiny compared to like any car. Tobin has braved the booth here, despite the fact that we're gonna watch him plow into me on lap 1, and it's not gonna be pretty. Somebody off the track there.
Plow is a harsh term for a tap, but yes.
It sent me into the wall, sir. It was a plow.
You can hear that Maserati drive-by, though.
Indeed. Here is Rick Martel in the 570. I want to say it's the 570. I can never remember McLaren models. Except for the 720, because, I mean, 720. But anyways, currently we got the surprising performance of Justin Swan up on pole in the KTM Expo, or Crossbow. Have we ever figured out what that is?
No.
Paul Riccobeni in the Camaro in second. That's another surprising car to see up there. Then we have Sanity Restored with John Archie in the Porsche, Dominic Turcotte's Mercedes, the McLaren of Bika Watt, Guillermo Martinez in the Porsche, Matt Higgs in the McLaren. Matt Higgs down the order a fair bit there in 7th place. That's surprising to me. William Murrah in the McLaren, or in the Mercedes, and then our top AM crew, Trevor Chaney and the man we're watching right now, Rick Martel, in respectively the Aston Martin and the McLaren. By the way, shout out to Trevor Chaney. He's been on a hot streak lately. Been doing his thing. Jeff Wentworth, for the record, down in 21st place, not participating in the race. He is a spectator for this run.
I would like us to make sure to pronounce that chicane as the Casio chicane to correct Justin, who would not stop calling it the Casino chicane.
Casio Triangle, actually, so you're both
Yes,
wrong.
You're right. Casio Triangle, if we're being...
I don't really know why it's called Triangle, because it's not a triangle. I'm wondering if there was like... If there was
the old one was a tighter chicane.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there was like maybe an older one where that was properly a triangle or something, and they just haven't changed the name.
I will say, on the topic of that, there's a lot of, tracks I can rant about saying, they changed it over time, they made it worse. That chicane is not one of them. I think the current layout is way better than the old one, which was just too tight.
I honestly feel like most of the tracks that people rant about being better back in the day really weren't.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that rose-tinted glasses that tends to come up all the time. Like,
there's a few turns
like
I can name that
there was never a best car in the 1990s. Really? Where were you?
Every year
where
had a very
were
specific
you?
Best car.
There's like I'm thinking of F1 specifically.
Yeah.
Like there were maybe 2 years in the 90s where the best car was up for debate. Like maybe 2. Like Jesus, come on, people. All right, here we go. They fit the drive this time. All right, so the grid: Swan, Riccobeni, Archie, Turcotte, Watt, Martinez, Higgs, Murrah down the order one way. Wow. Chaney, Martel, Magus, Hemian, Yimbo, McRae, sneaking in there at the end. Alonso, Bellotti on row 8, row 9, Chaney, other Chaney, and Tobin. And then Credible and Caster, and then Dave Brock bring up the rear. We lost somebody after qualifying.
Good question.
It was someone towards the back because I'm looking at myself and I didn't move. So it was below 11th place. Not sure whom.
Ooh, I like how it says the first 3 letters of your name on the blinky light section.
You can set that up in your... A lot of people don't set that up. I'm very puzzled. Like, a lot of people are just player. But also, this is an entry list thing, so I believe everybody has theirs. Whether they want it or not.
Yeah. So, we've got Justin Swan. He did qualify on the pole. But this run down to turn 1 is not going to be fun for him.
Yeah, that KTM, it launches well, but it does not have what you would call a great straight line speed. Now, I was more worried about how he could maintain the lead when Matt Higgs was up there in second place, because that McLaren will launch.
What happened?
Against the Camaro, it might actually be okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's an understatement to say this car, this track, like, this is maybe the most crucial turn one for a leader I can think of. Where
Pretty much, yeah.
if he can get the launch and get into turn one, he might just drive away with this whole race. But if falls back into traffic, that's can't really use that car full effect.
Yeah, it's not a car that has a lot of overtaking opportunities around this track. Whereas the McLaren, the Mercedes, the Porsche, those with the big grunty engines, they have options. But the KTM, the Alpine, the Audi, these are the cars that are going to struggle to go forward. So the start is very key for them. They're going to have to be very on top of their game. Still not sure who's missing. I could pull up Race App and have a look, but all right, you're on solo duty until I figure it out.
Well, I'm seeing Jeff Wentworth in 22nd, and I can tell you he's not there. He's in fact
but he was
a ghost haunting us.
He was 23rd before, so we are down a car. I'm gonna check out. Gonna check out the qualifying and see if there is somebody missing, because I think they put up a lap time, so they should be in the qualifying results. Our events. Suzuka. I haven't heard the car start yet. There we go. So who is it that's missing? Nope. The qualifying only lists 21 cars. Weird. So that did not help us out. Alright, time to see if anyone's naughty on the start here. Big gap forming there. Whoever that gold Porsche is... I am assuming it is Guillermo.
Yes, that's a good assumption. And
yeah, he's even lost a spot. Yeah.
I think it's Mira. He's inside of at the moment.
Yeah, he's still behind Mura, so Guillermo, you gotta be
careful. If he stayed back there too long, you know, the widget could be telling him to stay there and stuff gets messed up.
I doubt it, though.
I think he's sorted it out.
There we go. He sorted it out. Still, I'd say the front is a little bit further away.
Yes, indeed. Who's he starting next to? That's Mika.
That's Mika Watt in the McLaren 570.
All right,
we wait for the green flag.
Wow, you can see Martinez hanging back.
Yeah, there's a gap there.
Almost next to him.
Yep, here we go. So the top 5 should have a little bit of a getaway here with the hold-up from Martinez. And Justin Swan keeps the lead into turn 1 with the Camaro. Paul Riccobene right behind him. Squabbling behind him, it's John Archie and Dominic Turcotte. Turcotte getting the better of that.
Oh, contact in the rear.
Oh, there we go. That's
a Magus in the
Audi, and I believe Just Incredible in the Porsche.
Yeah, someone in the black and orange car followed.
I believe Just Incredible off of memory. Also, he's the only Porsche back there, so it was definitely a Porsche. So we got one pit stop to clear here, which I'm still mixed on. I've always had the thought that if you bring a pit stop in a short race, people just are more encouraged to do dumb shit. But anyways, Rick Martel getting the elbows out there against Cole McRae.
That's Cole McRae. Yep, I made it by
Martel's got a bad start for Martel. He's lost a couple of spots.
Yeah.
Love that Burger King Alpine in the background.
Yes, indeed. This is definitely a tricky turn on lap 1 when your brakes aren't exactly up to temp.
Maserati going wide there. That's there to Tobin losing a spot, or, I don't know, failing to take a spot from... Looks like he lost a spot to Bellotti in the Alpine. Still ahead of Seth Chaney.
Look at the size difference in those cars.
Indeed. It's a big car, and it's got no ABS, no traction control, no electronic aids. Still able to get past Arthur Bellotti there, though. E-Sky WP Racing Maserati Gran Turismo.
I think it was outside of that turn 1 incident. I don't think we really had much other contact on this lap throughout the field. Well, we'll see. We've got a Matt Hicks on cam, so
Yeah, Matt Higgs is carving through the field there, getting past William Murrah. Murrah's also carving his way through the field.
He moved up.
John Archie has fallen back to 6th place, so he's having a rough time.
Here's the first round of can Justin hold off someone down the main straight? He definitely should be able to brake later going into turn 1. So.
Yeah, well, particularly against Camaro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the Camaro. It's if a McLaren or a Mercedes starts getting a run on him that I think he's going to be a little helpless. Matt Higgs getting nudged along by the bullet Mercedes of William.
Matt has a fire lit under him today, it would seem.
He was angry in the chat pre-race, just angry at himself, really.
Yeah,
but, that seems to motivate.
Scary thing for the others. Yimbo sitting in 10th.
Looking back at Rick Martel.
Getting a little wide going into Dunlop.
A little wide there, but I don't think you can overpower the Mercedes down to Degna. And he'll hold for now.
3-turn combination in the world. Changed my mind.
Oh, one of the Aston Martins off. I think that's Trevor Cheney. We'll see if he drops back.
Yes.
And he's losing some spots there. Yimbo through. Martel through, I think. And Cole McRae might also be coming through. Looks like he will hold for now. So weird seeing Trevor in anything but a Mercedes.
It's a good run for him up in 9th.
Well, he's down to I think about 12th now. He's lost out to Yimbo, Martel, and McRae, I think.
Well, then I take that back.
Still a good run. I mean, he's really showing great improvement from his AM status or bronze status, however you want to work it out. I dislike the pro AM designations just because I mean none of us make enough money to be pro. But Tony Yimbo up in 9th place now in the very nice Schwede Motorsport Mercedes. Very much, I think the strongest car down the stretch will be this Mercedes. Not necessarily here today. I think the McLaren probably the strongest car around Suzuka. But I think the Mercedes will be the car to be in the long term as Cole McRae looks to get past Trevor Cheney again. Hemian and Alonso behind them. And he is through into 11th place for the Cole.
Oh, Cheney goes wide, and then goes wide the other way.
I think Cheney went for an overtake in the S's, and that's just not really... doesn't really work.
And you saw exactly why. That's what's going to happen when you try to overtake there.
Yeah, just ended up having to defend against Cliff Hemian instead. Which he did do, so nothing lost. But perhaps a bit of impatience.
Tricky section to overtake through. All right.
Dominic Turcotte under pressure from Matt Higgs. Swan still has the lead in the KTM.
Yep. Pulling out about a 10th per lap over Riccobeni.
Riccobeni in the Camaro, then the Porsche, then the McLaren, then the Mercedes, McLaren.
I have to wonder how...
McLaren, Mercedes, Porsche. There we go. I got it right that time. That's your top 6 at the moment. They're kind of leaving everyone else behind. Mika Watt's about 3 seconds off the back of this pack.
A little surprising. I would have thought Mika, as fast as he is in that McLaren, would be a bit more potent around here.
One would think, but I mean, it's where he qualified, so I can't
Matt
say that's
looking in the inside, going to 130 yard.
130 yard, got it.
Yep.
Turcotte left him room.
Looks like Turcotte must have lifted there a little bit, which is
the
right
Turcotte.
Especially if he could get a run out of it.
Yeah, I think Turcotte deciding the discretion is better. Oh, John! Oh, spun around. I think did Murrah clip him?
I don't think Murrah clipped him. They were side by side, but I think Turcotte probably just kind of locked it up, getting on the brakes a little too hard.
That's a weird spin.
Okay, really? Gunning it over that gravel.
Well, you can do that. Rejoins relatively safely.
The Mercedes is pretty good at off-roading.
Most of the GT4s are, because they're all of these cars are compared to our GT3 experiences. They're pretty high off the ground.
I'm going to tell you right now, the Maserati is not good at off-roading.
Well, that's because it's a Maserati. It's not good at anything.
Yeah.
So Turcotte down from the podium to 10th place. We'll see if he can come back. Does have that factory AMG livery.
Looks like he's not being hampered too much by any dirty tire remains.
Mm-hmm. They burn out pretty quickly here, the dirty tire effect. It's not like the old race room, oh my god, what is this, ice I'm driving on.
Oh, why are you reminding me? I haven't even thought about that for a while. My life has been so great up until now.
Well, you've been reminded of it now. So we'll see if he can get back past Rick Martel.
If there's any section that's going to scrub the tires pretty well, it would be the S's of Suzuka.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. There's a lot of scrubbing going on this track in general, so I don't think dirty tires going to be a problem
Martel
really anywhere.
Not getting the best middle of the turn.
No, he is not. Trevor Chaney looking to get back past Cole McRae. We'll see if he can do it this time before the S's. Cliff Hemian back there. Can't see Diego Alonso, but he's not actually too far behind.
So
that gap needs an update, because it's telling me that it's saying that Alonso's about a second behind them. He is not. That is changed. So maybe something going on between Alonso and Bellotti. There they are. Bellotti got past him. That's why.
Ah.
Actually, so did Chaney. So Alonso might have gone off, unfortunately. So he may be dropping. We're approaching the opening of the pit window. Next time through, they'll have the option to pit. Okay. What? Looking back at Guillermo Martinez in the Porsche. These two can't seem to keep with the top 5, so it looks like 6th place is their battle. And we'll see how that goes.
I think this Sector 1 S's are super fun. Some of my favorite turns. It's so much, all about patience. That said, if your tires start to go more than someone around you, there's nothing more frustrating than that.
I mean, we shouldn't see that in this race. We're talking about a 40-minute sprint with the option to pit 10 minutes in. So I don't think tire deg is going to be a big factor in any of these races.
Well,
we don't have Martin Edmonds racing in the series. I mean, we don't have to worry about the I can kill my tires in 10 minutes effect.
They aren't too bad, although if you find yourself staying out late to pit and you come across someone who is just coming out of the pits, the difference is pretty apparent.
I mean, I don't even think necessarily that. I mean, I've done kind of both options. Slight spoiler here. I will be pitting early in this race, and of course I pitted very late at Bathurst because I had the option to try to run, to the front for a bit. And I don't know, it didn't really feel like late in that run that there was a particular problem, and it didn't really feel like late at the end of this race that there was a particular problem with the tires either. And this is a pretty high deg track because of all the squirming you do. And the Audi is not a safe car on its tires because that, spoiler alert, once that thing gets below about 20 liters of fuel, it likes to get squirrely. So Mika Watt still in 6th place. I am regretting my pick of the Audi, but at the same time, there has to be an Audi in the field. And I'm still not sure if I'm going to attend all these races because Monday is leg day, and leg day plus racing is not pleasant. As up ahead, William Murrah under pressure from John Archie, who's trying to make his way back forward.
Oddly hazy day out there.
Indeed, a little bit of overcast going on, and little fog here in Japan. KTM.
Oh! I wish the camera had tracked that a bit longer because
he caught it, but he is under pressure from Paul Riccobeni. Not really sure why Riccobeni went with the plain car. There's a Fanatec car he should have picked. I know he was allowed to use a custom car because of the the lack of Camaros. There's only 2 liveries.
Yeah.
And we had people sign up with them, although they are not here. So I feel like Paul should be allowed to sport the official livery. John Archie has gotten past William Murray. That's 4th place. For the oh no! Justin Swan loses it in the hairpin.
Oh, that was Justin.
And Riccobeni takes the lead from Matt Higgs.
Oh, and Matt is... Oh, looking around the outside.
Matt is looking
Spoon.
aggressive. He's going to have the inside at Spoon.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it. He's got it.
Oh, a little slide job. Oh, no.
Cut back.
Couldn't quite make it stick. Although,
could not.
I mean, Spoon is a weird turn. Now he's going to get the run out because of that.
Yep, and the McLaren super strong into 130R. We've seen it do an overtake already on Dominic Turcotte.
Goodness, look at that speed.
Indeed.
He didn't even really get a run out of the turn.
These Camaros are just kind of weak in a straight line, and there it is.
Sorry, Paul, how do you defend against that? I mean,
I don't think that there's a way. I think that's just a sitting duck. And that's why I think the McLaren is to a different car. That's why we think that the McLaren is super, super strong around here. And around most tracks, I think. It's gonna be one to look for.
This season's making me think maybe the slightest little BOP update could be in order. That McLaren.
Bellotti, by the way, has been into the pits. That's a surprising early pit stop. We haven't seen him pick any damage, so...
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't remember him seeing any contact.
I mean, he was running fairly high up. So I'm a bit puzzled. William Murray and Justin Swan in the pits. Swan I get. Just, of course, hit a wall. Not sure why Murray's in the pits.
You know, sometimes, whether it's a flat spot or whatever, sometimes you just aren't happy with this set of tires and it just doesn't feel right.
Could be.
Sometimes you get in the car, it feels awful, you change the tires, and you find out it wasn't the tires. It was you. You're just bad.
Could also just be a tactical undercut, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad considering he found himself mired back a little bit in traffic there.
Mike Magus is in the pits. I'll spoil that. Damage!
Ooh, love that shot going through Degner.
Also in the pits,
yeah, there was
Skylar
some damage there. We can only hope there's no sort of report.
I mean, it's lap 1, my friend. It's coming.
Oh, that's right. Haha, there's no report.
I don't even need to report it. Tony Yimbo up to 7th place, mostly just because of the pit stops going on. Dominic Turcotte's overtaken him, actually. So Turcotte coming back through the field. He hasn't elected for an early pit stop. He was one that I thought might pit early. And has elected not to so far. Higgs is already out to a 7/10 lead over Riccobeni at the front.
Oh, wow. Yep. Where did Higgs start? 7th, I want to say?
7th or 8th?
Yeah.
8th, I think. He was row 4 with Mika. I just don't remember what order they were in. Ooh, Tony, that is that's not where you want to go. Looks like David Brock struggling out there, down in 20th place, and has not done his pit stop. Cliff Hemian in this time around, in the 31 silver car. And Tony Yimbo looking back at the hungry McLaren of Cole McRae. And if Bathurst taught us anything, the place not to be is in front of Cole McRae. Heading through the Degnas. I do like the Degnas. Very easy to fuck up, but also very rewarding when you get it right.
Oh, they are. And getting it right means just being so much on the edge, sliding.
Well, Mika Watt's got a train forming behind him here as Guillermo Martinez goes to the inside.
Martinez
and
goes wide.
Dominic Turcotte in the mix. Oh, Turcotte was thinking about both.
Mika gave him a lot of room, but he does have that McLaren speed.
He does. But the inside of Spoon is going to be hard to defend.
Lift a little, though.
Yeah. Oh, Turcotte going for it. Is he going to lose 2 spots? He might.
He might.
Wow,
Yeah.
very wide at Spoon.
Oh, man, you get out there and...
Tony Yimbo getting very wide as well. So, rough times for Mika What? Maybe time for a pit stop?
Yeah.
We'll see.
You know, I can definitely see that. Even if there's technically no advantage, like your tires aren't worn or anything, just losing the momentum like that, it can be nice to get in and reset.
Yeah, get that mental reset in. Yeah, well, Tony Yimbo might want to consider it, because that's the second time we've seen him go.
Yeah.
It was like the 3rd time in a lap we've seen him go really far off.
Yeah, like, even if, there isn't an advantage, just having that excuse for yourself to say, okay, I'm gonna get new tires, I'm gonna be faster.
Well, I think it's more just knowing you gotta mentally cool down a little bit.
Yeah,
get
really.
In the pits, get yourself recentered, get yourself refocused, and go back out there strong.
It can be a nice little spa day. Give yourself some revival.
Or if you're like me and your body starts to ache, you pit stop to stretch it. I think I remember that in the Enduro. Wasn't the Suzuka Enduro? It might have been the... It would have been... It's not Suzuka, not Bathurst. What's the other round we've done? I don't remember now.
Yeah,
Nürburgring, I think.
Yes,
Nürburgring.
you did that.
I pitted literally just because my knee had locked up.
I have definitely run to the bathroom during a pit stop. During a 3D practice race only a few weeks ago, I saw I was going to have a nice lengthy stop, 30 seconds or so, taking tires and fuel, and yeah, bolted to the bathroom and back. Came back just as I was finishing up. Good times.
Stunningly enough, I've never had to go to the bathroom during a race. I vomited during a race.
Oh,
which is slightly famous. I was ready. There was a bucket beside the rig.
Okay, so Paul Riccobeni is racing for Rumham Racing, I'm seeing now.
Yes, indeed.
And he is suddenly
He's close to Matt Higgs once again. Higgs might have made a mistake or got held up in traffic because they're catching up to Bellotti. Might have caught Bellotti in a weird spot and maybe made a mistake because he was pulling away from the Camaro.
I'm kind of wondering about that. Although I don't think you have that big a gap over Riccobeni.
Yeah, but the gap back to Archie's also closing, so I do think he made some kind of mistake. Paul Riccobeni with the default uniform. You got to give people your driver files, guys.
All right, Matt Higgs.
And Higgs is in.
Let's see if what Paul can do in the clean air.
So Higgs going for the undercut. Not that I really think that there's per se an undercut overcut going
I mean,
on
he hit
here.
it exactly at the middle mark. It's kind of just the perfect middle cut.
Well, I think now is a good time to, just because the blue flags are coming into play. I would
100%.
I think if I was Riccobeni, I would have actually followed him in.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a gap that he might be able to do one more lap here without getting held up. We'll see. Nah, he's closing.
Yeah, he's closing on Bellotti quite quickly.
And he's not going to catch him at the friendliest part. I think he's going to catch him right as they go through, like, Digner 2. Might be able to dive in.
Might be the hairpin. Might be the hairpin.
Yeah.
And it depends. Belotti's usually a fairly considerate blue flagger.
I was going to say, that's a turn that can either be really easy to pass him or really hard.
He is from that Brazilian, South American culture, which tends to be a little bit, get out of my way. So.
Oh,
no, you're right, Digner. He's getting out of the way, but
okay,
that did slow Riccobeni up a little bit.
Not much.
Bunch of pit stops going on.
As he was with Matt. Never know.
Cole McRae in the pits, Rick Martel in the pits, Diego Alonso in the pits. Martinez up to third because of the pit stops. With Turcotte on his still. Turcotte, if I was Turcotte, I would have pitted.
Yeah.
He had that spin earlier, either the tap or the spin. I don't know what it was. But he's been battling through traffic now, and that's, no matter how efficiently you do that, that is costing you time.
Yeah.
And his main rivals, guys like William Murrah, guys like, well, really just William Murrah, to be honest, have pitted and gotten through. Although Murrah's come out behind Cole McRae. Which
interesting. That's not right.
Very surprising. Yeah. Either that or we need an update on the timing there. We'll find out, I guess. You know what? I think he's ahead of McRae, actually. I think McRae passed the finish line before he got to his pit box. That might be what we're seeing. So we'll see at the next timing update. As Turcotte's still trying to find his way
Is
through.
he
Yep,
gonna
there
go
we
into the pits?
He really should. He's
Nope.
really just costing himself time. But
Oh, well.
okay, Martinez is going in. Okay. I suppose I should have qualified if Martinez doesn't. Riccobeni's in as well.
Okay. So that's pretty much it for the leaders. Aside from
Well, we got John Archie and Turcotte out there still.
Yeah.
Tobin out there. Seth Chaney. Just incredible. Has got up into the top 10 by not pitting. Oh, there's both Cheneys in the pits.
Be real interesting to see after this lap where like Riccobeni and Higgs come out relative to each other.
Yeah, that
got
is
in
the
the
big
better
question.
out lap.
That is the big question. John Archie is caught up with Bellotti under blues. And Bellotti getting out of the way in the same spot, actually. Doing a good job. See, that's a good job of doing the blue flags. I feel like we got to point that out because that's of course been a big issue with the ESR community. Just moves off the racing line, lets him through. Did it early enough that there wasn't going to be a confusion with Archie, so that's nice.
Nice, swift, clean motion as well.
Good job, good job.
That's a cool livery when you get that side shot up close.
I like that livery. Almost makes me want to drive a Porsche. Almost.
Almost.
So, Riccobeni is shown ahead of Higgs right now.
That is Higgs trying to pass Tobin technically for position,
Tobin.
but not really. And
oh, Tobin! Whoa, boy!
Oh, too wide through that turn doesn't always work out well.
We have to give out my famous, my patented statement: Ayrton Tobin running out of talent. So it looks like Higgs has come out well clear of Riccobeni. The gap is showing at 3.6 seconds.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know how Higgs survived that, because we got a little glimpse of it, and there was a major collision between those two cars.
John Archie into the pit lane. Although he will not be coming out in the lead, I don't think. That he was close enough that the overrun could have worked, but he spent a lot of that overrun near Bellotti, and I doubt he made up the time. So we'll see. Turcotte continues on, so he's... I guess he's got 5 minutes and change left in the window. It's not too bad. Diego Alonso.
No.
I believe it is, because I think that's Seth Chaney.
Kind of hard to tell. Timing's in a bit of a flux right now.
No, that's David Brock.
Okay.
I saw in the window. That's 21st place. That's Brock. So that's
okay.
Blue flag. Should notice, you see Trevor Chaney is shown as having not pitted. He did pit. It did not change his tires, so he must have messed up something up with his pit settings.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Tobin in. So problems for that. Problems for the Mercedes number 99 car.
I can tell you, Tobin did not drive into the pits, but was
Oh, we lost somebody.
Tobin.
Yes, we lost Tobin.
That car was not drivable into the pits-able.
So what it looks like with Chaney, because I'm noticing that he's still in 6th place, is I think he just had a blank pit stop setup going.
Yeah.
Probably didn't have a refuel setup and had the same set of tires as he had on the car already.
Yeah.
Is my guess. Because not only did he pit, because I saw the P appear beside his name, but he's come out like, you know, that pit crews on amphetamines if they did anything. Which probably means he's not refueling in the race, which is a bit silly, but okay.
Yeah.
Not going to be a huge difference maker.
A little bit of time there, but...
Not going to be a huge difference maker, the whole pit stop thing with fuel, but, you know, you'll take any 10th you can get. Tony Yimbo under pressure from Mika Watt. So Mika Watt's come out of this whole pit stop sequence in a bad spot because he's behind Yimbo.
Yes. And right now in front of Cole McRae.
Turcotte in.
So we've got Yimbo and 3 McLarens.
Indeed, we do. Let's see here. The big The big, I can't really see any big winners in the pit stop duels, but the big losers appear to have been William Murrah and Mika Watt. I guess you could say Justin Swan down to 8th place from the lead, but I suspect it's more to do with the off than anything else. And we've lost another car. Seeing if I can figure out the missing driver. I believe it is just Incredible. We're missing.
Yes.
So the AM Porsche has parked it for the day.
Seems so.
So Turcotte in the pits finally. So Higgs actually getting closed down a little bit by Paul Riccobeni. So the Camaro's got something for him, even if it's I don't know if it's going to be enough. Mostly because I just can't figure out where that Camaro can make the overtake. We're waiting for that timing switch to be thrown, so I don't think Turcotte's in 3rd. Pretty sure that it is, it should be John Archie. There is the timing line. You can see it on there. Leaders go over it. And Higgs' lead is down to 1.7, so that Camaro's coming. It's doing good work. John Archie indeed into 3rd. Martinez. Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm thinking Turcotte might. Well, Turcotte in 5th. Okay, so you kind of lost out to Martinez. Maybe that's probably about it.
There.
Martinez having an excellent run in the silver category.
Yeah.
Place. Mind you, top end silver was gold last season. So a downgrade to silver. I'm sure we'll see him back up into the ace category shortly. In fact, there will be a new category released tonight, because I am doing the GT4 World Challenge, not GT4, GT3 World Challenge from Sunday, which is now officially in the books. So there may be some rating changes. That's why I've been holding off on doing the 3D speed entry list until I got the official results. The only question is, will the super team of David Brock, William Murrah, and Dominic Turcotte be legal?
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one.
Let's look at what. Closing in with former teammate Cole McRae, the old Santa Lock Audi crew, now both in McLarens. And for those who are unaware, if Dominic Turcotte achieves platinum status, he will not be able to team with William Murrah, but we'll find out. I think that'll be a super strong team.
Around. That would indeed.
I'm not sure why no one's tried that before, the whole gold plat combo with the bronze. I was surprised nobody tried that last season. And Mika Watt under pressure from Cole McRae. This race has really gone downhill for Mika Watt. Given his history of of hardware issues, I'm wondering if he's facing some kind of pedal fade.
Yeah, something.
Because we know Mika's had, and I could definitely sympathize. Mika's had some pedal issues.
This is true. It's not normal to see him just. I mean, it's one thing if it was an accident, but to see him just kind of like slowly fading and losing pace like this, that's.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Not
I mean, we've seen him fall at Misano and at Kyle Almy in the 3D Speed Series, but it's been more eye-catching, I guess. It's been spin related. It's been major mistake related, not a drop off in pace. So this is a bit weird because he lost out to Tony Yimbo in the pits, I believe, but the fact that Yimbo is just kind of driving away from him is surprising.
Yimbo fishtailing a little, McRae running wide. It's all fun at Degner too.
We'll keep an eye on if Rick Martel closes down that 1.2 second gap. I think he has, because that to my eyeball, that looks closer than 1.2.
Yeah. So Mika's just harassing McRae after letting him by. Now he's suddenly kind of close back in on him there.
Yep.
Which McLaren will be the best McLaren? Find out.
Loneliest man on track award goes to Cliff Hemian, 10 seconds behind Rick Martel, 14 ahead of Seth Chaney.
Yep. Not the worst place to be with about 8 minutes remaining.
I'm sure he would like to be higher. I think Cliff, anything short of a top 10 for Cliff is a little bit disappointing these days. He's done some good work in the academy. He's really been coming along. Former bronze driver not that long ago.
Cole clipped that inner curve and just shot at wide.
Into the Casio triangle. And
okay,
that was not good.
That was interesting. Cole ran
Indeed.
particularly wide. Mika ran particularly cutting the turn. And
Martel's taken about a half second out of them. They really need to figure
Rick,
this out.
Make it 3 wide.
I don't think Rick would go 3 wide. Rick's a little conservative for that, but Cole McRae loses the spot to Mika Watt, and that's 9th place back to the Canadian of, I'm assuming, Finnish heritage based on the name, but could be mistaken. Could be German.
Well, I always figured.
Rickabenny's reeled Higgs down to 0.6 of a second.
Oh boy.
So hopefully the camera gets up there at some point. Not that I'm not enjoying this battle for second best McLaren, but
I'm still questioning if Higgs has sustained any damage from that hard contact with Tobin. It's certainly not heavy damage with the way he's running, but there might be something.
There might be something wrong, and he may not have fixed it in the pits because he would have, he would have wanted to spend his little. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So he wouldn't even have the option. Tony Yimbo must be loving what he's seeing in his rearview mirror right now.
Okay.
Yes, fight.
Cole had a run coming out of Degner. Could have looked, but kind of backed off. Probably did the right thing.
We've lost another car.
Yeah.
I think it's Trevor Cheney, who we talked about having the pit stop issue. I think he may have pulled the plug on a rage quit there.
It would appear that is the truth.
Just going to turn attention to Mike Magus, who's hunting down Diego Alonso at about a second and a half a lap, but he's probably not going to have enough time to get in there. And there is the leaders. Matt Higgs ahead of Paul Riccabenny. Me and Paulo will be teaming up in the 3D Speed Series and McLaren 720Ss, and I feel filthy saying that.
Wait, who will? What?
Me and Paul. We're going to be in McLarens.
Oh.
My beloved Audi. No one would team with me in the Audi. Very, very disappointed. It means there's probably not going to be any Audis in the field.
I don't think I've ever seen Riccabenny in a McLaren in any race. A new site.
Well, he's looking for something new. That was why he wouldn't do the Audi. Or although he was pondering doing the Lexus again, which was weird because we did the Lexus 2 seasons ago. Don't know why the McLaren.
Paul, when will you return to the 911? Remember the glory, horrible days of 911ing.
I mean, he probably knows I wouldn't team with him in the 911.
Yes.
I can't rail against the 911 and then drive it. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Although, to be clear, I can drive the Porsche relatively competently. Just don't particularly enjoy it. Although, my issue with it just still remains the newcomers being like, put me in the Porsche. No. Just no. How about you pick an easy-to-drive car? Tony Yimbo is really getting railed in by these McLarens here. He's going to be under immense pressure. Wonder if he panicked a little bit watching in his back mirror, watching them fight. Oh, that's a terrible run out of the hairpin. This is going to get interesting to 200R and then Spoon. Mika might have a move for him. Can he get the inside line? Yimbo's giving it to him. Not quite. Not quite. Oh,
Mika gets a little out of shape there.
Cole McRae gets the inside line.
He's got the inside, but if Mika could have pinned him down there a bit more than that.
Could have, but I think that would have been dangerous. And I think he knows that the fight he really wants is with Yimbo.
Yeah. Well, it seems they both want to fight Yimbo, and they're just fighting over the opportunity to fight Yimbo.
Fighting for second place in the silver category here. With only Guillermo Martinez up there. Fantastic run for Martinez, by the way. Started in 9th spot, and he's up in 4th place.
Solid day. After those shenanigans at the start.
He's had some bad luck has helped him. I think William Murrah had some contact. We saw Justin Swan go off. Turcotte, of course, spun. But at the same time, you got to remain clean to take advantage of that kind of thing.
Okay. Like Ricky Benny's got 2 more laps, including this one, to get the job done.
Yep. The only reason I'm not hyped up for this is I don't know where that Camaro can make the overtake.
He is rotating through the middle of the turns really well in that Camaro, but that's gonna help you get there, but not get around him.
It's like the problem is that I don't know what turn the Camaro really can bring it to the McLaren in, because I mean, not traditionally a good turning car.
I was having watched them. He's getting through the middle of Spoon better.
We've lost the other Cheney, by the way. Seth Cheney is gone.
The only way I can see Ricky Benny getting by would be if he kind of threw it in, put a pretty aggressive move through the middle of Spoon, and slid up in front of him. I mean, he's gonna have.
Yeah, but I think after the season Riccobetti had in 3D Speed last time out, which was very poor, I'm not sure if he'll make that kind of risk. So the interesting thing is, can Tony Yimbo hold off the McLaren barrage?
Yeah, all right, it's a McRae shot again.
Managed to open up a little bit of a gap back to Mika Watt. I wonder if Rick Martel maybe had a goo and it didn't work out too well. So we've lost Seth Cheney. I'm told that was a technical failing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, side by side. Camera guy.
Camera
guy. Come on, camera guy.
So Yimbo
I'm not loving your nuts right now, camera guy.
But came back on, I think, and held a position.
Yep. 130R.
Holden quite get a run through the turn to take advantage of it.
Yimbo's like, don't even think about it. He's cutting that down. All right. Well, one more lap to go. And Cole McRae also has to worry about Mika Watt. So. Yeah.
And you gotta wonder when Martel's gonna stick his nose in there.
I suspect Martel already did, and it didn't work because I can't figure out why else him and Watt dropped back a little bit.
Timing showing Riccobetti, third of second behind Higgs, right there.
Looks like John Archie pretty much locked in third place. Then Martinez, Turcotte, Murrah, Swan. The battle we're watching here, 4-way fight for 8th place. And then further back, I'm not really seeing anything. I mean, I'm encouraged by the fact that Mike Magus is eating into Diego Alonso, but it's just not enough. That gap is down to 3.8.
So 2 of these 4 will place on their class podium. 2 of these 4 will not.
Well, 3 of these 4 will. Because Martel is the leading AM.
Oh! I didn't realize that. You're right. Okay,
Rick Martel, Rick Martel, still my pick for the bronze title.
Not a bad pick.
The original 3D Speed champion, way back in the day.
All right, running out of chances here to get the job done. Here's one of those opportunities.
Indeed.
Oh, McRae is looking not as hard on the brakes today. Perhaps he is being a bit more ginger after recent races.
I feel like the chance really would be Spoon, but he's not close enough.
Spoon, or of course, just breaking hard into Casio.
Well, I'm just mean we've seen Yimbo have a fair amount of problems with both parts of Spoon.
Okay, up front, meanwhile, I'm seeing Higgs is a second clear for Riccobetti, so it doesn't look like that's happening. So
maybe Riccobetti went for it and it didn't work out.
Yeah, I kind of wish we saw that.
Either that or Higgs just put the hammer down. Got away.
Yeah, and it looks like Higgs just won the race.
Yep. Higgs and Riccobetti, your top 2. No strangers to the podium there.
Yeah, but
although Matt Higgs is a bit of a stranger to that stop step at the podium. It's not been a lover of his. I want to say John Archie. That might be John Archie's first podium in a non-academy race. He's had a couple of good runs, top 5s for sure, but I don't recall him being on the podium.
Okay, there was an attempt there, but looks like Yimbo is gonna escape.
Yep, Yimbo takes second in silver, and third goes to Cole
barring a
McRae.
dramatic throttle failure.
Mika White grabbing 10th place ahead of Rick Martel. Big Cole McRae celebration there. Power sliding through the gravel. Car owner probably not happy about that.
Okay, we've got a Rogue Riccobetti going backwards on the track.
Skylar Castor is fighting with Arthur Bellotti.
Watch out for this man.
Get a little bit of a little BMW on
That's
Alpine
Bellotti.
action.
Fourth position.
Oh, you're
Ooh,
breaking
coming
up
out of
there.
Spoon. Kind of a... I don't actually know who would win the straight line
The
fight.
BMW's got the straight line advantage.
I really don't know who would win this fight in a straight line. Looks like
Definitely would be the BMW. The Alpine's towards the back.
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Oh, no.
Bellotti gets it.
That 130 yards.
But they clip.
Oh no!
And it's gonna be Castor. I think Bellotti let him have that.
I'll tell you, if there's...
He's going for it.
Yeah.
And Bellotti gets it. I don't know. I think Castor may have given him the spot, feeling bad about the contact. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was for a bronze podium.
So.
That was for a bronze podium. So we lost the Cheney brothers as well as Tobin and Credible. Looks like Dave Brock also out of this race. So we'll hit you up with the standings here for the GT Tour, which is
Credible. Is that the only BMW in the field or Castor?
Castor is the only BMW that showed up today. I think there are other BMWs.
Kind of makes sense. That BMW was done dirty. I mean, that thing is dominant.
So in the standings, we have John Archie on top of the pile on 171 points with a double podium. So that was not his first podium. There we go. Dominic Turcotte in second. Matt Higgs is third on 165, 156 for Paul Riccobeni. William Murrah also on 156. Justin Swan, 138, 129 for Cliff Hemian, 126 for Guillermo Martinez, 123 for Mika Watt, and 117 for Rick Martel. Things are really tight. Very, very tight in the standings here. In the bronze category, it is Martel leading by 18 points over Arthur Bellotti. And then in the gold category, we have only 3 gold drivers. That's very bizarre, actually. That is Archie leading Turcotte. The platinum crown right now settles on Matt Higgs' head, and Cliff Hemian has the silver by 3 points over Martinez and only 6 points over Mika Watt. So that is very, very tight. To answer the question on the BMWs, nope, just one. Just a single BMW in the field. That is the BMW of Skylar Castor, the number 111 car.
Yes.
So that is our run today. Do you have anything to add, Mr. Tobin?
I would like to know exactly how there was contact in turn 1 between Magus and Tobin when Magus started 11th and Tobin started 18th. Was there a very bad launch?
No, the launch was good. What happened is I ended up on the very, very inside of turn 1. And it was... I could stick my nose in there if I want, but it's not going to end well. So I hit the brakes early.
How exactly I got ahead of you, because when contact was made, I was actually ahead of you, despite starting 7 spots behind.
Roughly side by side, but yeah. No, it was just I hit the brakes earlier to avoid some carnage at turn 1, and
That's true. Did
the discretion better part of valor. So I'd slipped behind a number of people. I actually got a pretty good start. I was up at the top 10 for a little bit.
I got probably the start of my life on that line. Just got a good jump and threw it in around the outside of turn 1. Yeah.
I got a good start, but what it was is so I got a good start and I was behind Martinez, and I went to the inside of Martinez. Problem is that if you go to the inside, everything's going to close down on you. So just a poorly thought out overtaking idea. I should have tried to go for a 3 wide, like a safe 3 wide in the middle. Would have probably worked out, but I had to back out, and then I got swallowed up by the pack and then the contact, and that was kind of my race. Race past a couple of people, got to battle with some people that I don't usually get to fight with, so that's nice. You know, you get to acquire some data on some drivers that maybe I didn't have any data on, like
no, you were following me actually for quite a while. We're close together.
Yeah, I thought about a couple overtakes, and then your car was just so slippy. I'm like,
so you're smarter than Matt there.
Well, I didn't. If I had gotten a really good run, I would have gone for it. But there was kind of like half runs where it's like I could go for that, but
there was a very aggressive moment through Dunlop going around. I think it was Caster. But
no, that was at Degna's with Caster. You got through.
Yeah, it started in Dunlop, and then
you got through, and then I got through because I think he let me through because he got real slow.
It wouldn't surprise me. After getting caught by two cars, the first one forces away by. You're like, okay.
And well, he also did it later in the race. Which shout out to the bronze drivers, guys. If you're racing us, please race, because we're not expecting you to try to get out of the way. Like that's not how this is supposed to work. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a point to knowing who you're fighting and who you're not fighting and who you can handle, but. I mean, if you're just, don't do it in turns. We'll put it that way. Don't do turns. It's the same as blue flags. Don't do weird shit in turns, please. So that was that.
Sure, you should know who you're fighting, especially if it's Matt. If you're fighting Matt, just do whatever you can do to hold him up. That's what I do.
Well, how you fight people is going to involve what you know that they have a history of doing. How I fight Matt Higgs is not how I fight Mike Stopmill. I mean, to be honest, probably not going to fight either of them all that hard because that's not my race. But
Mike is actually the most fun to fight.
Mike is very fun to fight, but at the same time, he's always in a championship fight.
He is like the best AI possible because he's a fun guy to try to hold off and just see what, like, okay, I'm going to block you in the one way that 99% of people will just accept they were blocked that turn. What are you going to do? And then you see him drive next to you and you're like,
so the next round of the series takes us to Laguna Seca. So it's going to be a doubleheader at Laguna Seca because we have the GT4 World Tour here and the opening round of the 3D Speed Series here, which is practice round is tomorrow. If you're watching this on Tuesday, it is today. If you're watching this, probably when it'll actually be up.
Probably.
And get ready for that.
Wait, is this a preseason event or is it still like a mid-season one-off?
This is the official practice for Laguna Seca.
Okay, so this is the one race before the season.
Because everybody wanted it to run at the same time as the GT4s, so we're doing it.
Speaking of Laguna Seca and GT4s, next week, actually 2 weeks. Hold on. Yes, I guess there's a week break in the schedule, or is that printed wrong? No, there's a week break. Okay, so we'll see you back in 2 weeks, May 3rd, for round 3 Laguna Seca.
And also going to be, I said that already.
And rain.
Also, this Saturday, we've got the ESR Enduro event from Spa Francorchamps. So get ready for that.